Hi everybody, thanks for joining me in Melinda's Rubber Room. I am Melinda Pierce and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make this card. This is a card that I did in my Zoom class on Wednesday, and I'm going to show you how to put that together today. It's a quick and easy fold. Once you get all the measurements and score lines in place, it goes together pretty easily. So I think the hardest part is getting this belly band to go on. So sometimes you have to bend the paper a little bit to get that on. Okay, so I'm going to point you down to my work surface and show you how to put that together. Okay, so I'm going to make mine a little bit different with different designer series paper and different stamps, but this is the sample just so you see how it goes together. Let me move this up a little bit so you can see my whole table. See if I can straighten it out a little bit. For some reason, the camera is always a little crooked. Okay, not sure if that helped. All right, so again, this is the card. All right, so we are going to start with a base that measures 11 inches by 5.5. And all of the measurements are right here, so you can kind of zoom in on them, hopefully, and follow along with me. It'd be great if you can make the card with me at the same time that I do it. So I'll try to slow down the process a little bit so that you can make it along with me. Okay, so again, the base measures 11 inches by 5.5. So 11 inches by 5.5. And I have scored it at 1 3/16, 4 inches, and 6 3/4. And then we are going to start with a valley fold. So that simply means you're folding the paper down so it creates a valley, and then a mountain fold, and then another valley fold. Okay, so that is as easy as it gets to make the base of the card. So again, you start with 11 inches by 5.5, score it at 1 3/16, 4 inches, and 6 3/4. Okay, and then we are going to bring in our designer series paper. Now this is from the In Good Taste designer series paper, and this is what it looks like on the paper, and that's the opposite side. So I'm actually going to make a little scene with my designer series paper and my stamps. So these stamps are from Sailing Home. It's a set here. It's a gorgeous set, great for making masculine cards. It also comes as a bundle. Well, it comes with the dies sold separately, but all the dies coordinate with the stamps. So it's a great little duo that you can get there, stamps and dies. So for this effect, I took my designer series paper, which looked like this, and I created a mask to do some sponging or some blending with the blending brush. So all I did was I took my blending brush and my ink pad, and I tore a piece of paper, just regular scratch paper. So I forgot to mention, this piece of paper for the designer series paper measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. You will also need a piece that measures 2.5 by 5 1/4. So again, I just took some scratch paper and randomly twist and turned as I ripped, and that kind of creates like a wave type of image. And then I took my blender brush, and you want to kind of tap this off so that you don't get big splotches of ink. And then actually I'm going to do it on this one because, well, I can create more waves on here, I guess. Okay, so then you just take your blender brush and you just wipe the color off onto your designer series paper, like so. So it'll show up more on this piece because I haven't used the blender brush on the whole background yet. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down like so. Tap off the color and then brush it. Okay, and that creates that kind of wave effect. And then you can go up further and do it again. Like so. And then at the end, I just kind of took my blender brush and blended it in like that. Okay, so this is going to be my inside piece. This one measures 2.5 by 5.25. So this one I'm just going to mount like that onto the inside of my card. So again, the card folds out like this. This piece of designer series paper is going to go here. You have a white piece of cardstock that measures 5.25 by 2.5, and that's going to go right here. You have a white piece that measures 5.25 by 1 inch, and that goes right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all those pieces. I think I'm going to make this for a Father's Day card. So I don't have my words pulled out for that yet, so I'm going to have to finish that part later. This set has actually been around for a while, and I haven't given it much love lately, so I wanted to pull it out and use it. And it has such great images for men, so kind of good to stock up on those when you see them and be able to make masculine cards when you need them, because they're kind of far and few between. Okay, so this one is just going to go in like that. All right, I think I'm going to actually leave this piece not adhered to my card yet, because I do want to stamp an image on there for the words. But I am going to pull out one of the little boats and stamp that. I think I'm going to use the smallest one and just stamp that right down here on the bottom. Bring in my acrylic stamping block. I'm going to ink that up in the Night of Navy and stamp that right on the bottom. And then I can stamp my words right up here. So that'll be a nice little insert for my card. Okay, so that's going to go in there when after I stamp my saying. And then I have stamped my lighthouse and die cut that out. I'm going to attach that there. And I have a larger boat that I'm going to put up here so it looks like it's sailing. I'm going to go ahead and attach these. I'm not going to use a lot of dimensionals on this card because it does have quite a few layers. And you don't want your cards to get too bulky. If they do, sometimes they topple over when you have them standing up because they're kind of top heavy or whatever. So kind of want to watch that. Especially for these inside layers, it's not going to close up very well if you have a lot of bulk on the inside of your card. Okay, and then I still have room here to stamp some words if I want to, or down here. All right, and then I have this little boat that once the card is closed, you have a little bit of room right here. So I'm going to attach that. I wanted to do it down here, but I think I need to do more shading then. So I guess I'll just add it up there, and then I can always put some more words there. And you want to make sure that this guy is visible when you close this flap too. So this is nice because this way it looks like this sailboat is coordinating with this lighthouse. And then when you open it up, you'll see the other sailboat and this guy down here. All right, so now all we have to do is the belly band. So for the belly band, we have 11 inches by 1 inch. And originally I said score at 3 5/8 and 7 3/4. Some people were having trouble having that belly band fit around their card. So all I'm going to do is score the 3 5/8. Let's see. Looks about right. It's not too critical because the band is plenty long enough to go around the card. I'm just going to fold on there. Put that on one side. Make sure this is nice and tight. And then fold it over here. And that way you know that it's nice and tight and that it's not too tight. So you'll still be able to open and close, be able to slide off that belly band. You do want to make sure that it's nice and straight so that the back and the back pieces match up. And then I'm just going to adhere that down. Close that up. Okay, so now I know that this belly band is going to slide nicely. And then I have a little steering wheel that I had cut out in white. That is also in the same die set. Looks like it has some little circles in here that would be cute to shine through. So I'm just going to poke those out. I think it's just the one. So that'll be cute there. I do want to tie some twine around that. Let me go grab that. I think the twine will just give it a nice finished look. So I'm going to, I don't like to do bows on masculine cards, so I'm just going to tie this in a knot. I actually use knots on a lot of cards. They lie a little bit flatter than the bows and they look nice. It just adds a little ribbon to your card, which is always nice to have some more dimension on your cards. Okay, so I think I moved that when I was tying it because it's really loose. This is where an extra set of hands comes in handy. You want to make sure that's nice and tight so it doesn't get all baggy on you. Oh, it slipped again. Okay, that's better. Okay, if it's still too loose, you can always add like a little glue dot underneath it, which I think I'm going to do because it still wants to move a little bit more than I want it to. I'm just going to take my Pick a tool, find a glue dot on here, kind of roll it in on itself because it's a little bit wider than I want it to be. I'm just going to tuck that right underneath that knot, and that'll hold it in place. Okay, and then I kind of rub my nails along the linen thread, and that kind of helps for it to stay in place and to hang nicer. Just going to cut that a little bit. Like so. And then I will add my little wheel. So the wheel, I think I am going to pop up on dimensionals. It's just a little guy, and I think it'll add a nice little touch to that. Just going to add the dot right in the middle. And there we go. So that is the finished card. Belly band slides nice and easily. Oh, I forgot to add the paper on the top. So this is just a little sparkle piece of paper. I wanted to show you this gorgeous paper that Stampin' Up! Has introduced. It is, you can't see it that much on this card because it's blue on blue. But this is the ombre shimmer paper, and you can see this blue is lighter on the bottom side, so that would have showed up more. But this is gorgeous, gorgeous paper. I just love it. It's not like a glitter paper. It doesn't have a huge ridge on it. It just has that shimmery look to it. Just so gorgeous. It's so pretty to just touch and feel. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out to you. It's a little hidden in the catalog, so make sure you check that out. It is just so pretty, and just a little bit of it will add a lot to your card. So this is the other piece of that same glitter paper. I think it's glimmer paper, actually. So this piece was over like that. So this had the lighter piece on there. So again, this one would have shown up a little bit more, but it still adds just that touch of glimmer on the onto the card, which is nice. Okay, so that is now the finished card with my little insert that I need to stamp. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I hope you learned something new. That is always my intent on these tutorials, is to teach you something new and show you something that you haven't seen before. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you can join me again at a future time. I do have my Zoom classes on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time, and sometimes on Saturdays, same time. We do the same project each time, and I do follow up with a video just like this one. So be sure to stay tuned onto my YouTube channel at Melinda's Rubber Room, as well as my Facebook page, Melinda's Rubber Room. And you can also purchase your supplies. Everything that you saw me use today is available on my online store at www.melindapierce.stampinup.com. .net. All right, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.